Podcast doesn't exist. So much good crap going on in the league, man. We got all kinds of cool stuff. We got the Red Sox right now. We got a man just got arrested for selling tickets. Legalize it, right, Mitch? Legalize selling tickets. And we got Paul Skenes and a potential trade that could break the world. I just did some research. I got to the bottom of this Paul Skenes potential trade stuff. Just put my head to the ground, listened to some of my sources, did some research, did some kicking around. I actually texted Livy Dunn about it. No response. It was a DM. Just business DM, but didn't get a response yet, so we'll get back to you on that. Still waiting on John Mayer to get... I feel like something's wrong on my Instagram. Because like I DM'd John Mayer, like it's been like 2 weeks, right? Still doesn't say seen or anything.
Damn, that's so weird.
Same thing with Livy Dunn. And I reached out to Paul Skenes. I found the Skenes family address. Like, I guess that's going to take a little longer because that's mail. But, yeah, let's just say this, dude. Paul Skenes. So for Paul Skenes, if you don't know, Paul Skenes is a pitcher. And the Dodgers are about to trade for him. The Dodgers are going to get Paul Skenes. I've kind of gotten to the bottom of it. And I'm pretty sure I'll put the likelihood of the Dodgers trading for Paul Skenes this season at 90%. 90% chance the Dodgers trade for Paul Skenes this season, this All-Star break.
Got some foreshadowing for listeners. I'm looking at Joey's trade proposal. It might be one of the worst takes I've ever seen.
Yeah, okay, Mitchell, you would say that, you hater. Yeah, because like Paul Skenes. Okay, so Paul Skenes pitched today. Today was his, I don't know, whatever start it was. He faced the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks' fifth best offense in baseball. He gave up 4 hits, walked 0 batters, gave up 0 runs, struck out 7 in 6 2/3 innings, beat the D-Bags, lowered his ERA to 2.15 right now. So Paul Skenes at age 22. That was his 32nd start. Still to this day has not shown any sign of being anywhere near mid. I don't think he's had a mid start. He's probably had a mid start, but he hadn't had 2 mid starts back to back. I know that. Every start he's made so far this year, Paul Skenes, 5 innings or more. He's 6th in WHIP, 4th in opponent average, 9th in Ks, 9th in ERA. We all know Paul Skenes is one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's also 22 freaking years old. The Pirates, on the other hand, are not one of the best teams in baseball. The Pirates have the 2nd worst record in the National League. Thank God for the Colorado Rockies. Am I right, Pittsburgh Pirates? They're already 14 and a half games out of first place in the Central. Not exactly the strongest division, and they're 14 and a half games out. 7th straight losing season this will be for the Pirates, okay? And they have, who do they have, Mitch?
Paul Skenes.
Paul Skenes, who just so happens... Right now, if they traded Paul Skenes, he would be probably the most valuable trade piece of all time. Comfortably. I know I say that. Easily.
If he was traded at the deadline, he would be the biggest trade piece to ever be traded.
So you're the Pittsburgh Pirates. You're about to have their 7th losing season in a row. You have the worst ranked offense in baseball. Worst. Behind the Colorado Rockies. Your offense is worse. And you have the number 1 trade piece of all time. Even if you don't want to trade Paul Skenes and you think that's a stupid idea, could you admit, Mitchell, it's tempting?
If I'm the Pirates ownership, I'm looking at this and I'm saying like, wow, look at all of the prospects that we could get back for 4 years of Skenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been considering it because you could get 3 All-Stars for the price of 1.
Yeah, if you do what the Nats did.
If you did what the Nats did. What did the Nats do?
I'll tell you that. But I mean, we all know Paul Skenes, not only is he the best pitcher in MLB, one of them, he's young as fuck. He's 22. He's also the face of the franchise. One of the faces of the league. Like behind Ohtani and Judge, I put Skenes at 3, maybe.
I don't know if I can think of someone who came up through the draft system, so not like Ohtani, become a face of MLB as quickly as Skenes did. I would say by his first start, he was already a face of MLB.
And a lot of that has to do with Livy Dunn. Shout out to Livy Dunn. She deserves all the respect that she's getting right now. Sad to see that her senior season has been cut short with injury. She has bowed out of her 5th and final season of gymnastics. So We don't have the clap button, but I will do a boo. This is going to be a boo, but just pretend it's a clap for Livy Dunn. That was Jack. Another one was
I have a clap.
Do a clap. Oh,
there it is. I found it.
But yeah, he's a fucking. Not only is he a beast pitcher, he's got the Ohtani effect to a certain extent, where it's like you're not only getting a star pitcher on the mound, you're getting a guy who can sell out and make you a lot of money off the field. This guy, they've already done 2 bobblehead nights for him this season. They had one bobblehead night was their only sellout other than the home opener, and they already announced doing another bobblehead for Paul Skenes. And back to Mitchell was saying, oh no, not yet. He's basically Juan Soto on steroids. I mean, is it hard? I mean, it's pretty obvious that Paul Skenes is going to become the highest paid pitcher of all time. And that seems very early to say that because he is 4.5 seasons away from free agency. But I mean, bro, if he doesn't pitch now until 2029, pitches one good season, he's still going to get paid. I mean, the highest contract right now, pitching contract, is Yamamoto with $325 million. All right. In fucking 5 years from now, you know that's going to be inflated even more. If Paul Skenes doesn't have to do much from this point on for teams to justify giving him that much money. $325 million, just a spoiler alert, if you're a Pirates fan, you're not going to pay him that. There's no way the Pirates are going to pay him that. That's 3 times more than the Pirates are paying their entire roster this season. Their highest contract ever was 1/3 of that. That's $106 million to Brian Reynolds. So I will tell you right now, there's no possible way in hell that the Pirates sign Paul Skenes as a free agent. So if you know you're not going to get him as a free agent and he's on your squad, why don't we trade him, Mitch? Why don't we trade him? Who did that?
The Nationals.
The Washington Nationals. In 2022 it was. They had Juan Soto, and they traded Juan Soto for C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, and James Wood, which were the 3 major pieces. Okay? Fast forward 3 seasons. That's 3 of their 4 best players, and they're all under 26 years old. All right, and also take this: the Nats got C.J. Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, and James Wood for Juan Soto. Guess how much they're paying all 3 of those players combined?
I was trying to fact check you because I was like, "There's no way it's this low."
$4.3 million, Mitchell. They're paying their 3 of their 4 top players, who are all under 26, $4.3 million total. Juan Soto is getting $61 million this year. Okay, they're making these 3 players 15 times less than Juan Soto. Okay, so you could say that was a genius deal for the Nationals, without a doubt. For the Nationals, that was a 10 out of 10, I'd say. Not
even just how much they're getting paid, but these 3 Nationals are probably going to be all-stars, and it's not just because they play for a bad team. It's because Woods, Abrams, Gore, they're all playing really well this season.
Yeah, and it changed the trajectory of the franchise. People are now looking at the Nats like this is a team with pieces. They could add more. They could be a contender in a year or 2, right? If they would have kept Soto, I mean, let's say they did pay $700 million for Soto and still had Soto and didn't have those 3 players. Would the outlook for the Nationals be better? It would actually be probably worse.
I mean, you would lose your best starting pitcher, your starting shortstop, and probably one of the most promising outfielders in baseball. So Wood and Soto, you would swap out, and Wood's probably, in the long run, a little worse than Soto. But the other 2 combined, that made it totally worth it.
Yep. So even, I mean, yeah, and the reality is the Nats wouldn't even have Soto because he got in free agency, and the Nats would be screwed. But they got ahead of it. They made the trade, and now the Nats are in a good spot. So why don't the Pirates do that? Because the Juan Soto trade was the biggest trade, one of the biggest trades of all time. I don't have every fucking trade memorized in my head, but I'm going to say it's one of them. They have its own Wikipedia page for this trade. It was such a big trade. The reason why: Juan Soto was young as crap, he was good as crap, and he had 2.5 more seasons of team control. Meaning, if you trade for Juan Soto at the time they traded for him in 2022, you had him on your team for 2.5 seasons guaranteed, unless you traded him again, like the Padres did. So 2.5 seasons. That's why that trade was so big. Not only is Juan Soto a beast, everyone knows that. They traded him way before he was going to be a free agent. So you got a massive haul of prospects. Paul Skenes is under team control for almost 2 times more than that, Mitch. 4.5 more seasons of Paul Skenes if you traded him today. So whatever team traded for Paul Skenes would get the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the league, the best young pitcher in the league by far, arguably the best young pitcher ever.
Yeah.
Let that sink in. And you get him for 4.5 years. Reasons why you wouldn't trade him. Because now you're thinking, dude, BDE, you just lay out the blueprint. I mean, why wouldn't you trade Paul Skenes? You made the best argument ever. Let me play some devil's advocate. Here's why the Pirates wouldn't want to trade Paul Skenes. A lot of people aren't paying attention to the Pirates right now. Granted, I get it. I mean, if you are paying attention to the Pirates, you're talking about the guy falling from the stands or the usher beating a guy with a belt or the team selling the team or the team being fucking terrible. But they also have Jared Jones, who was an amazing rookie pitcher last year, who is out for the season with an injury. However, he's in a great young pitching prospect. And you also got the second top prospect in baseball, Bubba Chandler, another pitcher for the Pirates who's probably, do you know, Mitchell, do you think he's coming up this year or they wait until next year?
I honestly probably would expect the Pirates of all teams to not promote a player early.
Yeah, but
like even with Skenes, it's hilarious. They promoted him so late because they're like, there's no way he wins Rookie of the Year. And then he won Rookie of the Year, so they lost the team control that they thought they would get.
Yeah.
They might not risk that again.
Sucks to suck.
If he does come up, it's going to be like July.
Either way, whenever Bubba Chandler comes up, if he is what people think he is, the number 2 prospect in baseball, and Jared Jones is what we think he is, another top pitching prospect, they have Paul Skenes. They have 3 amazing pitchers. Like in 3 to 4 years, the Pirates starting staff could be one of the best in baseball if things go right. So that's when you say, like, we got a future. Now, granted, they also have the worst offense in baseball, worse than the Rockies right now. So even if you had the 3 best pitchers in baseball, which they're not going to be the 3 best, but the best starting staff in baseball, the best 3 best pitchers, the best, what am I trying to say? If you had the best, not starting 5, but best starting 3 pitchers in the league, the worst offense ain't going to cut it. Granted, it's going to take a few years. Maybe you can add more offense in there. But I don't know. So like that's why you want to keep Paul Skenes. On the other hand, in fucking 5 years, this guy's out. In 2029, there is a stop dead date on Paul Skenes. The Pirates know for a fact, after 2029, this guy is not going to be on your team. So do you want to wait 4.5 years, hope for Jared Jones to get healthy, hope for, what did I say, healthy? You laughing at me, dude?
Well, it's not wrong. I mean, he will be very healthy.
He's going to be healthy. I'm saying Paul Skenes is healthy now, but imagine how healthy he's going to be after a year or 2 of development.
No, yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, fast forward a couple of years down the road, you have Bubba Chandler, you got Jared Jones and Paul Skenes all in a rotation. But Mitchell, in 2029, it's by the time Jared Jones is healthy, pray to God Paul Skenes doesn't get hurt, because if he does, then it's all fucking ruined. And Bubba Chandler is who we thought he was. That's going to take 3 years. Then you only got like a year and a half, 2 years to actually win. Or you trade him now, Mitch, this year at the trade deadline. But there's a lot of haters who say it's not possible because he's just too fucking valuable. He's too valuable. He, like I said, he's one of the best pitchers in the league. He's one of the youngest pitchers in the league. He's one of the most marketable pitchers in the league. And he has 4.5 more years of team control. How is any team going to have as many players to trade for Paul Skenes? Like, what do you think a deal for Paul Skenes would give you, Mitchell? If you were the GM, what do you ask for?
You need at least 2 MLB ready prospects, like right away. 2 MLB ready like hitters for the Pirates, preferably. Then you need like 2 guys who are already in AA, young guys in AA. And then you need some add-ons. You got just throw in as much as you can. Just like, well, like he's a player, and then maybe get that deal up to like 10 players.
So you need that's right. And you know what else you need? You need all those guys to be under team-friendly contracts, so the Pirates cheap ass don't have to pay them. And that is a tall ask. There are not many teams in baseball with that much prospects, that many team ready, MLB ready guys or MLB now players who they're willing to trade, especially if you're competing. Like, you're not going to trade your 3-hole hitter, which the Pirates would want for Paul Skenes if you're trying to make the playoffs this year. But think about a team in MLB this year who just so happens to have unlimited money, unlimited prospects, a fuck ton of pitchers who are injured right now, who aren't even going to help them win this year, but it could help the Pirates win in the future. Is there a team like that, Mitchell?
The Dodgers?
The Dodgers. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the only team in MLB who could make this trade happen this season because they're the only team who could afford it. But think about this. The Dodgers, what do they have, Mitch? The 4th best farm system in baseball. Why the fuck do they need that? Why do the Dodgers
I mean, why not? They're injured all the time. The guys coming up from AAA because they've got like 30 pitching injuries.
Okay, but the guys coming up from AAA aren't that great either, okay? The Dodgers have Hai-Sung Kim on the bench. The Dodgers got James Outman in the minor leagues, dude. He was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. He's in the minor leagues right now. There's no spot for James Outman's getting his career ruined being in the Dodgers AAA system just because it's the only team in baseball who won't use him. Fumble. Esteury Ruiz is another guy. That guy led the league in steals 2 years ago, and he's in the fucking minor league system. Why don't the Dodgers do that? Who else do the Dodgers have?
I mean,
Roki Sasaki. What the fuck is Roki Sasaki going to do this year for the Dodgers? Probably nothing, all right? He's probably hurt. He's probably done for the year. Okay, he's not going to help the... What? What's so funny about that?
You're gonna say, hey, Roki might be broke, Pittsburgh, but take him.
He's a prospect. He's a project, Mitchell. You know how fucking nasty this guy almost threw back-to-back perfect games. Was throwing 102 miles per hour 2 seasons ago. He was a number 1 international free agent this offseason. And the Pirates can have him if they get Paul Skenes.
So imagine you're the Pittsburgh Pirates GM and you just happen to listen to this podcast. For 3 episodes, we're going, man, I don't know if Roki can ever be good again. And in this one, we're going, hey, take him for Paul Skenes. It's a great swap.
Okay, I'm not saying 1 for 1, Mitchell. You got to give him other guys than just Roki. But Roki Sasaki is 23 years old right now. You don't think the Pirates would want Roki Sasaki?
I mean, of the guys you've mentioned, I think Roki is the best one.
Roki has an insane upside and is not going to help the Dodgers win this year. The Dodgers are trying to win now, right? So, like, they can give up some guys who are going to help their future. I mean, they have guys to give. They have a bright future no matter what, okay? But if they want to win this year and they get Paul Skenes on the team, they want to win for the next 4.5 years? Why not give Roki Sasaki? And think about all the Dodgers pitchers who are hurt this year who aren't really going to help the team, aren't helping the team right now, who could help the Pirates in the future, who the Dodgers could give away if you give them Paul Skenes. What do the Dodgers need more than anything right now?
Offense.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm going to kick you out of this room right now. The Dodgers need starting pitching. They're all hurt, motherfucker.
I'm still, my mind, I didn't even hear what you said. My mind is still on the fact that you're like, Esteury Ruiz, the guy that the Athletics DFA'd, would be a enticing trade.
This is who the Dodgers have to trade right now. Roki Sasaki.
Good.
Michael Kopech.
Injured
this year.
Limited team control.
Brusdar Graterol.
Free agent in 2 years.
He'll be good for next year. Bobby Miller.
Dude, it's getting lit up.
He's a project, dude. All right, okay, he's in the minor leagues. He has a great season. What was his ERA his first year?
He was really good his rookie year, but the past 2 seasons, he has got like a 10 ERA.
Get him in the pitching lab, Mitch.
That is true.
Get him, Bobby. This is what you do when you make a trade. You get guys
Pirates do have a pitching lab.
Pirates have a pitching lab. You get a guy. They have 3 of the best starting pitchers in the league. It looks like. Come on, you get guys who have high upsides who aren't looking good right now. Who the team who has them doesn't need at the moment, but in the future are going to be good. Hai-Sung Kim. The guy's not even fucking playing half the games. Why do you need Hai-Sung Kim? Trade him to Pittsburgh. James Outman. I already said it. 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting in 2022. He's in their minor league system. Esteury Ruiz led the league in steals 2 years ago. He's in the minor league system. If the Dodgers right now said, hey, Pirates, I'm going to give you Roki Sasaki, Michael Kopech, Brusdar Graterol, Bobby Miller, Esteury Ruiz, James Outman, Hai-Sung Kim for Paul Skenes. The Pirates say no. And the Dodgers don't get any worse this year. They're not even using these guys.
The
And
Dodgers definitely don't get any worse, but I don't think I think the Pirates would rather have guys who've never played in the majors or guys like Dalton Rushton who just came up.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the Dodgers also have 6 players in the top 100. Trade all of them. Add 6 of those fucking guys. Roki is one of them, but 5 more players on top of that who you can add in this trade, mix and match. Like you don't have to give all these guys away. Take some of those prospects. Take out Kopech, Brusdar Graterol. We can keep you, but like you're telling me. 5 prospects in the top 100. Roki Sasaki, Michael Kopech, Brusdar Graterol, Bobby Miller, Esteury Ruiz, James Outman, and Hai-San Kim for Paul Skenes. There's no combination of those players that would make sense for both teams.
I mean, if you're going to say trade all 6 prospects in the top 100 and give them like 3 of these or all of the other guys, okay, I can get it. But like if it's like a couple of the top 100 prospects and then it's the guys like Ruiz, who was DFA'd by the A's, Outman, who really struggled last year, Bobby Miller, who might be broken, then if I'm the Pirates, I'm hanging up the phone.
But my thing is, you could give them every single one of these players, and the Dodgers don't need any of these players.
But
they don't need them. They can give all of them.
From the Pirates' perspective, is a guy like Ruiz who is just a speed guy worth it?
Obviously, Ruiz by himself is not worth it. But if you get Ruiz and you get Bobby Miller and you get Roki and you get 6 prospects in the top 100, that's worth it.
The 6 prospects, I'm totally on board.
That's worth it. You got prospects and you got major league ready guys now who are either injured and can't help the Dodgers this year, who they're able to get rid of because the future's bright with or without them. And you get Paul fucking Skenes in LA, motherfucker. You got until 2029, you get Paul Skenes in there. By 2029, him and Livy will have 2 kids, bro. Him and fucking Shohei's kids, you know that their kids need to be hanging out with the Kardashians. Paul Skenes needs to be in LA. Those kids need to be hanging out with the Kardashians. Those kids need to be on the same little league team as Shohei's kids. Like this is the kind of shit that needs to happen. It will break baseball.
But from the Pirates' perspective, so one thing is that there's been an anonymous exec, according to MLB, who says that trading him this year versus trading him next year will have negligible differences in trade. Mm-hmm. So the Pirates hold on to Skenes this year. They sell all of those tickets whenever he starts. 35,000 tickets when he starts versus like 10,000 when he doesn't. They make all of that money selling Skenes tickets, selling Skenes merch. Then next year they trade him to the Dodgers for all of these prospects and all of the guys who they don't need that particular year. I mean, what's the difference for the Pirates?
That's a good point. Why not just wait 1 more year? Because you're right. If you have 3.5 years of team control, we saw Soto go with 2.5 years of team control. People thought that was crazy. 3.5 compared to 4.5. I'm not sure that the difference is that crazy.
Like, I don't think the trade value of Skenes right now is so out of any other trade that we've ever seen before that, like, you just mentioned 6 guys who've played Major League Baseball for the best team in Major League Baseball. You're suggesting that the Dodgers trade all 6 of these guys and all 6 of their top prospects. And we're sitting here going, that sounds like a reasonable trade. What other player in MLB history would that be a reasonable trade?
Well, that makes me think that's why the Pirates might want to do it this year, because there's not a team maybe ever that could afford Paul Skenes in a trade package. No one's had the pieces and the luxury of having the most stacked, most expensive lineup ever, where you can get rid of every prospect, every player who's not playing a moment, and still feel good about your future. The Dodgers are an anomaly. Next year, a lot of these guys might be healthy. A lot of these prospects, they might want them more. Like Roki Sasaki next year might not be on the trade block. James Outman might not be on the trade block.
But on the other hand, James Outman might not be on the Dodgers because he was so bad that they just non-tender him. So it's kind of like
they're in Rookie of the Year voting. They're not going to non-tender James Outman.
And baseball comes at you fast.
They are not going to non-tender.
I think from the Pirates' perspective, though,
James, you're out, man. Magic Johnson comes in the room. James, I know they're in the Rookie of the Year voting, buddy. Had a lot of great games down there in Oklahoma City, but James, you're out, man. We just traded you to the Pittsburgh Pirates for Paul Skenes.
I feel like this would be something the Pirates clearly show no interest in doing. But the Pirates would be better off signing literally just one decent bat next year because of who they have in their rotation, and they would be making the playoffs.
Next year in the rotation. Well,
Next year with their rotation and some offense.
With some offense. Now, you're putting a lot of faith in the Pirates for doing anything in the free agent market.
They never sign free agents.
And who's going to want to come to Pittsburgh?
I just think of teams like the Tigers that everyone was out of for like eternity. And suddenly the Tigers were like, yeah, best team in the American League.
Yeah, so there's two paths. The Tigers had a chance to trade Flair. Oh, they did trade Flair. They had a chance to trade Skubal and every player worth a shit last trade deadline and start rebuilding again. Or they could have, did what they did, kept going, and now they're the best team in baseball. It worked out not trading Skubal. Or you could be the Nationals, where if they would have took that same strategy that the Tigers tried to do in 2022 and kept Juan Soto, we'd be looking at them. The fucking manager would be fired. The GM would be fired. The Nats would be the freaking Rockies right now.
The Nationals are different, I think, from the Tigers. I think the Pirates are closer to the Tigers than the Nationals. The Nationals had a lot of bad contracts. They had Steven Strasburg, whose contract was dead money. They had Patrick Corbin, whose contract was dead money. They already had committed themselves financially to two players who weren't doing anything and were locked in. I mean, Corbin's contract ended last year. That was 2.5 seasons after they traded Soto. The Pirates have no money committed to them. I mean, this is a Pirates problem. We both know they're not going to sign anybody. But realistically, they should be looking at what they have now and going, hey, we've got a good rotation. We need to fortify the bullpen. We need some sort of offense, not just re-signing Adam Frazier and hoping that Andrew McCutchen can give you 90 WRC plus.
Yeah.
And then they're sneaking into the wild card.
It depends if you're the Pirates. Where do you really see your window is? And the Pirates window, we're not talking World Series. We're talking about a playoff team. Like, when can you get a playoff team? If you think you can get a playoff team before 2029 with Bubba Chandler and an injured Jared Jones, then yeah, you can stick it out, or you can get 6 of the top 100 prospects: Roki Sasaki, Esteury Ruiz, James Outman, and Brewstar and Kopech can start. He can start. I'm just saying, it could fucking happen. Another possible trade is we're talking about the Red Sox, because now the Red Sox, it looks like it might be time to burn it down. This was thrown out there, and I don't think this is going to happen, but this is from one anonymous exec. What was the potential trade that he threw out?
Casas, Anthony, Meyer, Christian Campbell, and Tanner Houck.
So basically, all the Red Sox have a ton of prospects. That wouldn't make sense for the Red Sox right now, because it looks like they got to resell, bro. Because the Red Sox are on a terrible streak, almost worse than our Braves. The Red Sox have fell to 4th place. Bregman, he's out. Did they say how long it's going to be? It's going to be a couple months, right?
He said that it was very similar to his quad injury, and similar to a quad injury he had in 2021. And so that was like a month or two. At least 2 months,
which isn't good, because they've lost 5 in a row. Right, in the past 2 weeks, they're 5-12, and it wasn't that long ago where we were looking high on the Red Sox. Their playoff odds have gone from 63% at the end of April to 18.4%. That is a 40% drop, damn near, Mitch. That is not fucking good. Now, granted, they do have a positive run differential, so if you go by run differential, a lot better than the record says, but that doesn't count in the standings, because the standings say they're in 4th, and the standings say they are 4 games under 500. And that's with Rafael Devers setting the league on fire. 4th best hitter in the baseball this month. But fuck, man, why is this guy not playing third base? Because they lose their third baseman. They lose their first baseman. Yoshida's out. Where the fuck is Yoshida?
They saw him take swings in batting practice 5 days ago, and then that's the last time.
Is he in the minor leagues?
No, he hasn't started his rehab assignment.
So can't he just his problem is he can't throw, right?
He can't throw.
So why can't he just DH in the minors?
Well, they have this guy named Rafael Devers that they refuse to play.
I know, but in the minors, can you send him to the minors?
Yeah, I mean, he could, for position players, though, once you send them on rehab assignment, they only have 2 weeks.
I thought you were going to tell me, well, they got a DH in AAA. They don't.
Yeah, you don't know.
Who's blocking Yoshida? I'm like, bro, like the fucking Red Sox just made a lineup that everyone blocks each other. Like, who's the prospect they haven't called up yet? Roman Anthony?
Roman Anthony's because they have too many outfielders.
Too many outfielders. The lineup sucks, and they can't call up their top prospect because they have too many good players. Then why are they so bad at hitting, dude? Okay, they're 6th in runs. They're actually doing good on offense. So there's your silver lining for Red Sox fans. You got a good offense. 6th in runs this year. Devers is a fucking beast, hitting the shit out of the ball. The other guy doing it was Bregman, and that, it just really hurts. But you lose Bregman. Who's going to play third now?
So they have Marcelo Meyer, one of their top prospects, up. He's played like 3 or 4 games. He's hit well, short sample size. They're really still trying to figure out first base, though.
Yeah, who is the options? And they have Campbell out there?
They want Campbell to play first base, but they don't want to just throw him into the fire. So I think they've been having him take grounders before every game, and they're going to throw him out maybe this weekend in Atlanta. So you can watch.
Ooh, I might be there. Be on the lookout for me in Atlanta, me and Jackson. 'Cause I'm going.
Are you a Jackson?
I'm going to Jackson.
No, I'm not.
Jackson Schwartz, country boy.
Are you an actual Jack or are you a fake Jack?
I'm an actual Jack.
James Jack.
Yeah, just Jack, legally.
Schwartz. Jackson Schwartz. Jacobier Schwartz.
We need to reboot Joey. He got stuck on a loop.
What's going on with the Red Sox? Fuck, man. They might be worse than the Orioles. I'm not going to say
It
that.
is hotter in here than it was on Sunday.
Shut up. It's not
No, it's
hot.
not, everybody. You're being dramatic.
Yeah, be dramatic. But the Blue Jays have surpassed them. Jack's Rays have surpassed them, and they've done that in a very quiet way. It's not like either of these teams have been killing it. I mean, the Blue Jays are 5-5 in their last 10, and they're better than the Red Sox. They surpass them in the standings. And the Rays, who got hot, are behind the Yankees. I mean, this division looks like mid as crap.
If I'm a Red Sox fan too, I'm really frustrated. It's not like they just got swept by the Dodgers. They got swept by a Brewers team that has struggled to score runs all month. And they lost the last 2 games of the series to the Orioles, who are legitimately one of the worst teams in baseball. And they're probably going to go to Atlanta and make us look stupid. But like these past 5 games are very winnable games against not great teams.
And it hurts more because it's like the guys that you came into the season knowing that they were going to rely on, and also free agent moves. Like Garrett Crochet has been, I might say it, Jack. Garrett Crochet might be the best pitcher in baseball this year. Garrett Crochet has been amazing. Alex Bregman's been amazing. Devers, all the shit Devers got this year. How much shit can you talk? Because he's the best hitter in baseball. 4th best hitter in baseball this month. Sorry. But you know what I mean. One of the best hitters in baseball. All those guys are kicking the shit out of the ball. Sorry. Hitting the shit out of the ball. And they still can't win.
I don't believe the Red Sox are as bad as what they've played. But I feel like when I look at this roster, it's like looking at the American League version of the Braves, where you go, why is this team? They've got a great starter. They've got a great hitter. They've got all of these names that I recognize. Why aren't they good? And I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer.
Yeah. Hey. Sometimes it's only May, Mitch. You could turn it around. But it's about to be June. And you know how they do it in Boston. They get mad at the owner. You care about soccer. You don't care about us. We're going to boo the team. I guess I don't really boo the team. I guess Fenway's always going to be packed no matter what. But it is concerning for the Red Sox because this was a team that people were saying was going to be the AL East favorites going in after Garrett Cole went down. Everyone thought the Yankees are cooked. I won't forget that like solid week after Garrett Cole went down. And everyone talked about how the Yankees didn't do anything in the offseason. They got worse. Didn't get Soto. And look at them now. I mean, they don't really seem like they have many challengers in the they are 7 games up in the AL East right now. And that is by far the biggest lead in the MLB right now, other than the Tigers are up 5 games, so I guess that's pretty close. But a 7-game lead on June 1st in the AL East, and it's the Yankees who the Yankees haven't really gotten credit for being an amazing team, but fuck, man, the Yankees have been hot as fuck. No one's even talking about the Yanks. Look up how the Yanks have been doing since May 11th. What's the Yankees record since May 11th? I want to say it is the best record in baseball.
Let's see. So May 11th, the Phillies have the most wins since May 11th with 12. No, well, they're tied actually. So the Yankees and the Phillies are both 12-3.
12-3. Yankees and the Phillies. Shout out to both those teams. Yeah, no one even talks about the Yankees. They just talk about Judge. I mean, Judge is just a one-man wrecking crew over there. Not that other players haven't been doing well, too. You got to tip your cap to Max Mother Crappin' Fried. Max Mother Crappin' Fried. Jack. Nah, he's not the best pitcher in baseball, but he's got a 1.29 ERA, and that is the best ERA in baseball, so you got to give him there. Speaking of the Phillies, man, they just beat our Braves. They beat us down. How'd you think about that performance? Lackluster?
There are nights where I'm like, man, I wish I was not a baseball fan. Like, I could have chosen any other sports. Could have been a football fan. Would have saved me a lot of days of pain.
Well,
yesterday was bad.
Well, it should have been your girlfriend's birthday yesterday. Then you would have got to miss it like me. So, I'm good. I'm lucky. Happy birthday to my lovely shorty. You deserve it, babe.
Happy birthday, shorty.
But the Braves, they don't deserve fans like us. But one thing's good, we killed Harper. Bryce Harper's out.
Oh man, Phillies fans are gonna hate you.
Don't hate me, Phillies fans. I got respect for Harper. I think Harper's gonna be great, but Harper went down, and it was at the palms of Spencer Strider. And if you know this, they got a history. The Braves and Spencer Strider's beef is continuing. All right, when did this beef start? Do we know? We don't have the notes in front of us, but we are, we've made a lot of TikToks about this shit.
So Spencer Strider in the regular season has fared very well against the Phillies.
That's what I'm saying. Every time Strider goes against the Phillies, you see nonstop Phillies fans tweeting out, "Oh, you suck. Strider sucks against the Phillies, blah, blah, blah." What's his stats against the Phillies?
So during the regular season, even including last night, he has a 2.05 ERA. He strikes out 40% of batters he faces, and he was 8-0 going into last night.
Dominates the Phillies every time he pitches them.
Except when it matters the most. So in 2022, the Phillies came in as a very big underdog against the Atlanta Braves in the division series. Spencer Strider had missed like 2.5 weeks. He's activated off the IL. He pitches 2 really good innings. And then
he's back.
Rhys Hoskins faces him. And I really think that if it wasn't for the fact that it was against the Braves, this might be one of my favorite homer celebrations of all time.
Yeah.
And I think that's really where it really began, because Phillies fans started to think that Spencer Strider was overrated. They are the Phillies, and they hound opposing fans. And it's just, I think, gone on ever since then. The Phillies own him in the playoffs. He owns them in the regular season.
Strider came into that game, gave up, that big home run, gave up a lot of runs. I was actually at that game. I was getting tortured, bro. I mean, I've never been called that many, homophobic slurs in my life just for liking Chipper Jones. Sue me. Sorry. I guess I'm gay now because I like Chipper Jones. All right. Every Phillies fan in the world was talking shit to me. It was me against the Phillies. It was me against everybody. Whole stadium. And Strider let me down. He gave up a big bomb. And then Strider went out and did that TikTok with that kid. And said that he wanted all the fans to get rid of all the fans at all the games as a joke. And now that meme is spreading everywhere. Fuck Strider. He's a pussy. You can't beat him. And then he goes back in 2023, loses again in the playoffs. Did you say that part?
Did not get to that point.
So he gives up the, he pitched all right. But
he pitched fine. It wasn't his normal, 12 strikeouts, 1 run, 2 runs. But, he only allowed 6 runs that postseason.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of clips of all the freaking jerk offs in the bullpen saying, "Oh, porno mustache, your thighs are gross, you suck, we're gonna kill you, Strider, we're gonna kill you, Spencer," and then they end up winning. So there's always been this rivalry between Spencer Strider and the Phillies.
Speaking of mustaches, Mitch got a little mustache going right now.
I woke up, I thought we were gonna record at 3 or 4. I was like, I gotta get to the office. I forgot to shave, and then I get to the office. It was pouring rain here in DC. Joey goes, 9 o'clock. Sound good for you guys?
I don't know if you can zoom in on YouTube, but if you can, you might be able to see it.
Never come to this podcast unprepared again. If we're not clean shaven, we're not recording from now on.
We all kind of look like shit right now, to be honest.
It's the Yankees way. We're supposed to look like shit, dude. We're fucking YouTubers, podcasters, fucking... You're behind the camera, Jack. That's your whole thing.
I'm in front of the camera right now.
He's got all the power. What was I saying about Strider?
Sorry.
Anyway, Strider, I know, coming back from injury, comes against the Phillies and nails Bruce Hooper right in the elbow. And Bryce Harper has been hitting that elbow before. I don't know how Bryce Harper, with all the freaking, swag that guy has on, how many sleeves, how many freaking elbow, hand guards, fucking nose guards, helmet, face extender, doesn't have an elbow guard.
I went to Google immediately after he got hit. I was like, man, he must have not been wearing his elbow guard. And I think I scrolled and went, does he just not ever wear one?
And that's Bryce Harper seems like the most elbow guard ever. Like he's loves the gear. Bryce Harper's the man of the gear. He loves
Someone
gear.
got into my head, who wears an arm guard on the Phillies? I'd be like, Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper. Doesn't wear an arm guard. He's a gritty guy.
Now he might.
Yeah, now he might have to start. Strider nails him with 95. Was there any update on Strider, on Harper?
X-rays were negative, but, I mean, the Braves and Phillies got rained out today, so they never made a lineup. So I don't know if he was going to be in the lineup today or not.
I mean, this is a guy who got hit right in the fucking face and played 4 days later. Bryce is a tough guy, but it looked like, he left the game immediately. And so there's beef of brewing now again. I already heard from, was it Trevor Plouffe and some other guy on the radio say that the Phillies are without a doubt going to retaliate for this?
Yeah, I don't think so.
A guy on the Phillies post-game thing was saying that they're going to retaliate. They should retaliate.
I feel like that was Ruben Amaro Jr. too.
Could have been. And Trevor Plouffe, another former big league guy, said the same thing. He said he wouldn't have a problem with it. It was obviously Strider did not do that on purpose. Oh, well, at least we think. You're looking at me like it might have been on purpose.
No, I'm like, 0-1 count. Strider trying to prove that, hey, my injury is fine. I can pitch again in the major leagues. He's definitely just going right after Harper.
Pitching up and into Harper got away from him. But it could add some extra fireworks on here. I mean, which we don't really need a motivated Phillies team right now if we're the Braves. That's the last thing we need. I mean, we have enough trouble trying to beat the Nationals and a shitty, limping Padres team. Don't forget the Pirates series, but to face the fighting Phillies. And last night wasn't great. I will say that Strider did look good yesterday. Strider looked good. What was Strider's line?
So he went 4 2/3 innings. He struck out 7.
4 2/3.
So he wasn't getting up velocity-wise. He never touched 97. He wasn't getting whiffs on his fastball, but second time through the lineup, he adjusted. He started throwing a lot more of his sliders. He got 5 of his 7 strikeouts on swings. And he walked 4 batters, so it looks worse than overall, but he only allowed 1 hit.
Yeah, so 1 hit, gave up 1 run, walked 4 guys, which is what hurt him. But that does concern you a little bit. That velocity is still a little low, and if he's not getting swings and misses...
I think Strider's fine. This was not an exciting start, but it was an encouraging start where you're okay, he hasn't pitched in a month. They, for whatever reason, didn't send him on a rehab assignment. He hasn't pitched really in over a year. I think the velocity is going to have to slowly build back up, but his off-speed stuff is fine.
Yeah, well, we need him. Because that doesn't make me feel any better either, Mitchell. Because Strider was the guy with the fastball, and that's why he was so good. He threw 100 miles per hour right down the dick, and nobody can hit it. That was his whole thing. He only had 2 pitches when he started. I don't know how many. Does he have 3 now? Does the changeup? Would you count? How much is he throwing that?
He throws his changeup and his curveball 2% of the time. I think he threw those 2 pitches combined 5 times last night. He really still is a fastball slider guy. But I don't know. If he was able to get 7 strikeouts in under 5 innings against a really good Phillies team, then I shouldn't be. I'm not terribly concerned. I am a little worried that we're never going to see the 2022, 2023 version again. But he showed he was still a pretty good pitcher last night.
Yeah, against a good team, and Ranger Suarez put it up our ass. That's annoying. Ranger Suarez is good again. I mean, Ranger Suarez was injured. I mean, the Phillies starting staff is nasty. They have their worst starting pitcher, because their worst starting pitcher is Aaron Nola so far, and Aaron Nola has been terrible. Okay, he has a 6.16 ERA, but they put Taijuan Walker in the bullpen. So if you count Taijuan Walker as a starter, their 5 best starters, the worst ERA out of their 5 best starters is 3.17.
I mean, they had a guy, they called him up, he outdueled Skenes. They said, good job, Nick. Back to AAA you go.
Yeah, I mean, the Phillies just have something going on in the bull. Maybe it's those freaking things in the bullpen they got.
The glass doors, the air conditioning, the fridge in the dugout.
And did you see that clip of them heckling and the Dodgers made them, the Phillies guy made them stop heckling the bullpen? What's going on in Philly, bro?
Getting soft.
They're getting soft as crap.
But they're winning games.
I guess it's all right because they're winning games. I will say this about the Phillies. I love the Phillies. I don't love the Phillies, but I like them more than the Mets. I like the idea of the Phillies. They're won 9 out of their last 11. No, 9 out of their last 10, or 10 out of their last 11. But 9 of those have been against the Pirates, Rockies, and the Athletics. Mitchell, you don't get to pick who you play, my man, but that is a weak schedule. What are they looking like in the NL East? 1.5 over the Mets. Might be a dogfight between the Mets and the Phillies, and it looks like the Braves might be a little bit out on that.
Their offense, I really thought Acuna was going to come back, save the Braves offense. He's been great. The rest of the Braves offense decided that, hey, our guy's back. We don't have to do anything anymore. We weren't doing that much to begin with, but now we don't have to do anything at all.
Yeah, now you can't blame Acuna either. That sucks. Sorry, Braves Facebook. You can't blame Acuna anymore. He's the only player who can fucking hit the shit, and they still suck. But hey, a lot of season to go, Mitch. A lot of season to go. If I was a little bit more optimistic after seeing what Strider did, even though he lost. But man, it's 5 out of our last 6, and
it's okay. You guys are gonna go down. You're gonna save the Braves. You're gonna catch your first foul ball, and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, we need to get more Ozuna on the TV. He should have went to Philly. Imagine Ozuna in Philly. They'd be very rude to Ozuna in Philly, and I won't stand for that. We should go to a game in Philly with Ozuna with guns.
I was with you until the end.
And when they start fucking hounding off on our guy, we will bear arms. Because it's our right.
Mitch is looking at me like I'm supposed to chime in, but I'm not gonna, dude.
No, I'm just like, Jack, are you hearing this?
I mean, the reality is that I would kill for Ozuna.
I would kill for Ozuna. I would kill for the Braves. Let's get a couple guns. Go to Citizens Bank Park.
You're being pretty specific for monetization right now.
Listen, it's not about money. It's about standing for what you believe in. Do you think the guys who freaking wrote the freaking Declaration of Independence were worried about monetization on YouTube? No, they said we will bear arms against the Redcoats.
I'm looking into Jack's eyes, and I just see him looking 2 weeks into the future. Joey going, "Can't pay you for last week. Sorry, dude."
I got a viral video idea. Let's get a couple guns. Citizens Bank Park, bring Uncle Zuna, and if anyone says shit, we will brandish our firearms, okay? That's what the founders of this country did. They saw a bunch of people in red coats, and they murdered them. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Philly. Anyone wearing a Phillies jersey, you're getting shot.
No,
sorry.
No, you're not.
Sorry, Bryce Harper.
I'm going to have to bleep this.
Sorry, Kyle Schwarber. You're just going to have at the 45-minute mark just bleeping out for
I'm not
5
even going
minutes.
to try to monetize this episode, dude.
Just shut up, dude. It will be fine. YouTube gets me, man. YouTube gets me. YouTube can't say
We love you. We love you, YouTube.
YouTube.
Love you,
How the
Google.
fuck you doing? Who remembers Custom Grow 420? YouTube. Put that in the comments if you remember Custom Grow 420. Moving on. The NL Central. I called the NL Central mid earlier. I might get a couple comments for that. Guess what? I don't read them. Huh. NL Central, combined 12-game winning streak. Who would have thunk it, Mitch? This is the best division in baseball.
You know what's hilarious?
They just lost.
I think from the time we've started until right now, the Reds lost.
They had a 12-game winning streak as a division, which doesn't happen too often. But if you look at the NL West, all the big, bad NL West, Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Diamondbacks, they lost 11 games in a row. So has the NL Central surpassed the NL West? We'll get to that later. First, I want to talk about the Cardinals. Because I have a simple question for you, Mitchell. Are the Cardinals legit? Because let me just run down some Cardinals stats for you. The St. Louis Cardinals, who entered the year of 2025, they came into this year with 22% chance, 23% chance to make the playoffs. Right now they're at 40%, so not as much as I thought. That actually surprises me they entered with that high. I mean, they entered with 23% chance to make the playoffs. Not great. They got hot as crap. Now they're up to 40, but that's almost a double. That's a double. That's a discount double check, my friend. They've won. Okay, look up since May 4th on StatMuse. Since May 4th. May the 4th be with you. This could be the Star Wars squad. They have the best record in baseball since May 4th. That is damn near a month, all right? 18-5 since May 4th. And that'll do it for you. But Mitchell, are they legit? Because going into the season, that's the last thing you would call this team was legit.
Yeah, no. Did my mic just get really loud? I felt like before I did this research, I was like, no, this team is not legit at all. They don't hit homers, they don't strike out guys, and they're pretty mediocre in allowing home runs. They're not very fast. They hit for average. And then I found that they might be. Their pitchers don't strike out hitters, but they have the best defense in baseball. Their outs above average as a team is 7 outs above average, higher than any other team in baseball. No one on their team is a below average defender. So they've just figured out that, hey, our pitchers don't need to strike out batters as long as they keep it in the ballpark, because when someone hits a ball to Victor Scott or Mason Wynn, they're just going to catch it.
It's a genius move. If you know your team is going to not be good one year, just get the best defense in baseball. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to pay for that. And then you can be the best at something. The Nats had that same thing going on. Like, I feel like the best defensive team in baseball is never anywhere close to the best team. It's like a cheap team who kind of just, like, if you're a team and you're just like, we don't have any good players, we don't have good pitchers, but we have the best base running team in the league and the best fielders in the league, that can go a long way.
But yeah, overall, like, these pitchers are not going to excite you. Miles Mikolas, Matthew Liberatore, Eric Fetty, all of these guys have pitched fairly well without striking out batters. Their hitters are a little more exciting. I mean, you've got Japanese legend Lars Nootbaar, who you always feel like he's going to be better than he is, but he's still a really decent hitter. Wilson Contreras has taken the move to first base pretty well. Brendan Donovan this month has been the best hitter, but hasn't homered.
Whoa. What?
And then Alec Burleson has the 29th best WRC plus.
So you're telling me Brandon Donovan's the best hitter in baseball?
No, best hitter on the Cardinals.
No. You heard it here first. Mitchell said that Brandon Donovan is the best hitter in baseball, guys. Flame them in the comments.
So if their defense continues and their pitching just allows hitters to hit the ball over the field but not over the fence, I mean, that's a big if. I could see them sneaking in, but like overall, like, I don't feel excited by the players that they have.
No, they don't have an exciting roster, but they've shown over an extended streak. I mean, it's basically a month where they've had the best record in baseball. Now, do teams have the best record in baseball for a month and then end up being not good? Sure. But they started the season off terribly and have come back now. So you got to show them a little fucking, grace. I honestly feel like the Cardinals as an organization might be looking at this as a negative, though. Because it's like they came into this year with low expectations. They got guys like Helsley and Arenado who are big trade pieces who everyone's looking at to trade. And the Cardinals are very much looking to get rid of their contracts, and they're older now. So they kind of were, this was the most obvious sell team at the deadline because of those two pieces. But if they're playing this well, you can't really justify trading those pieces, and that might hurt you in the long run as an organization. Now, if you're a fan of a team, that's the last thing you want to hear. These cheap fucking billionaires being like, we got to plan for the future. What are we supposed to do? Pay somebody in free agency? That's how rich people
What are we, the Dodgers?
That's how rich people talk. Have you been to these Bilderberg meetings?
No.
Yeah, because I didn't invite you. It's for big-time YouTubers with 1 million subscribers only. That's how rich people talk. But it's good to see the Cardinals doing well. Do I think that they can challenge the Cubs? I mean, right now, after this best month in baseball, they're still 3 games back from the Cubs, which isn't a lot by any means, but it is 3 games. They're in a wild card spot. The season ends today. If the season ends today, they're in the playoffs, correct?
Yeah, they are a half game above the Giants, who have played decently
So
ever since their hot start.
I mean, we were giving the Giants so much credit for being so good. Guess what? Not anymore. The Cardinals are better than your ass. Who else is not making the playoffs right now that will surprise you? Not really anybody. Damn, the Astros would be in the playoffs right now. I guess the Rangers would be the one team, and the Braves, who at this moment would not be in, who you going into the year you'd think would be in it. But shout out to the Cardinals. Cardinals have been, I mean, that division has gained some ground. I mean, they're not as good as the AL West, but the AL West has been shit in the bed. I mean, they probably lost. Did they lose more games? So by the start of this podcast, the NL West had lost 9 games in a row, 11 games in a row. Right now, did they play any other games? 4, 6, 9, 10, 11. Still 11. So 11 losses in a row. The Dodgers lost one today to Cleveland. The Padres have been not playing well unless it's against the Braves. They lost today against somebody else.
The Marlins.
The Marlins, man.
The Marlins came back today. I think the Padres had a pretty decent lead, and if it wasn't for the teams that were playing, it would have been a very publicized game. The Marlins ended up winning 10-8.
I mean, talk about a tough loss for the Marlins, though. Jack, did you see what happened to your squad last night?
No, I'm a huge Rays fan.
Well, your old squad, man, you jumped ship at the right time because what was their lead? They had a 6-0 lead in the first inning, and this guy, do you know his name?
I've only heard of him last night. Ronnie Simon.
Ronnie
Or
Simon.
Simone, probably.
And I hate even saying his name because this is an embarrassing thing. He made 3 errors this game, and kind of by himself in the field erased a 6-run deficit. And I want to say in 1 or 2 innings. He made 4 errors in the game. They reversed one of them to a hit afterwards. Now, the funny thing about this is, it's gone baseball Twitter viral. Everyone was talking about Ronnie Simon, but I cannot fucking find any video of any of these errors. I just see videos of him getting emotional on the field, looking like he's crying, and then leaving the dugout. 15,000 likes for a video of a guy crying. Can I see him in the field? Maybe the errors weren't that bad. They were hard hit balls or something. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's probably as bad as a day as you can get.
It's a pretty tough error. I mean, I just found one right away, and it looks like the runner was going on contact, or going before the pitch, and he, I think, just blocked himself out and just whiffed at the ball.
Hey, as someone who struck out in softball multiple times, it fucking happens, dude. But there's no crying in baseball, bitch. Stop. Sorry, you can cry in baseball. I'm totally for that. But he's shortstop or what?
Second baseman?
Middle?
Wait, Otto Lopez is their second baseman.
Who? Everyone knows that, Mitch. Come on.
Yeah, everyone knows Otto Lopez. If you don't know Otto Lopez, you don't know ball.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it's time to put Otto Lopez at shortstop. I don't know if Mr. Ronnie Simon can get it done. I mean, what do you feel more comfortable at shortstop if you're a Miami Marlins fan? Ronnie Simon or Otto Lopez? That is the question everyone's talking about. But
Looks like Otto Lopez is playing some shortstop. The Marlins are having the same debate.
Ronnie Simon or Otto Lopez? Leave it in the comments, guys. Who are you putting? I mean, there's a video of Ronnie Simon after 4 errors in one night, 3.5, on the field early, getting some extra work in. Everyone's getting his back because it was a tough game, and you don't want to see someone do that bad. But it was. I just had to bring it up to just shine some light on how the Marlins are doing right now. 6-0 lead to blow it on the defense. That's tough. That is tough. Speaking of the West, what about the Mariners, dude? We never talk about the Mariners, and all they do is stay in first place and never get talked about. Why is that? Why does no one talk about the Mariners?
We love talking hot and cold streaks. They just mid-off.
Mid-off? No, you can't call the first place.
They're basically going 6-4 every 10 days.
That's not mid-off. That's consistently good baseball, Mitch. If you go 6-4 every 10 days for an entire season, what's your record? Leave it in the comments.
I'm not trying to be that guy, but Mitch also, I've heard you describe the Braves as mid. So I think you need to expand your vocabulary a little bit to describe the
I need to read more books, don't I?
Take it from Jackson Schwartz.
I'm an English major. I haven't read a book in like 2 years.
Damn, dude, you just get on audio, man.
I just feel like if the Mariners are mid, then what does that make the Braves?
Yeah. I mean,
Are they more or less mid?
Can you be more or less mid?
well, the mid. Well, the most mid you can be is 500. That's the mid-doza line. So
Any philosophers in the comments?
Are they above or below the Mendoza line?
But if you're above it, are you less mid or more mid?
You're
I think to
less
be more mid means that you're even more average.
So more mid would be the mid-doza line.
To be less mid would be either good or
I
bad.
just love Jack pretending like he even gets the joke in the first place. With Mendoza.
He's going,
You don't think I know who
"What joke?"
Mendoza is, dude? Come on, bro.
Yeah, what position did Mendoza play?
Baseball.
That's right, baby. Full-time baseball player. And let me tell you what, if you know baseball, you don't want to get below that mid-doza line. The Braves are well below, have fallen below the mid-doza line. But goddamn, have the freaking Seattle Mariners stayed above that mid-doza line, just barely the entire year, and slowly but surely. If you're above the mid-doza line every single week, but just barely, but every week, you end up winning your division. And that is what these Mariners have been doing. They don't have a lot of competition in that division so far. A couple good teams, a couple mid teams, but none of them are playing well. The Mariners are. They're 7 games up, and this is crazy to me. They're 7 games up, and their worst qualified hitter on their team, according to OPS, you want to guess who it is, Mitchell?
Wait, how much up are the Mariners?
On the division?
Yeah.
1 game up. Did I say 3? What did I say? Oh, shit. They're only 1 game up.
Did he say 7?
I was taking notes.
They're 7 games above 500. I might have said
Yeah,
above
okay.
the Astros. They're only 1 game above the Astros, which actually surprises me because the Astros have gotten hot, and we will talk about them in a second. So buckle up, Astros fans. But the Mariners, who do you think their worst hitter, qualified hitter, according to OPS is?
I do know the answer, so maybe Jack, could you?
No, don't ask Jack. Dude, fuck Jack. He's
Just a waste of time,
He
really.
said enough. It's Julio Rodriguez. I know you know the fucking answer, Mitchell.
Jack was going to get that. Jack was going to get that. You didn't let him.
Well, I don't want Jack to get shit, man.
I was definitely going to guess something Rodriguez.
Yes, it's Julio Rodriguez. That's a safe bet. Yeah, it's Rodriguez. Big dumper. And by the way, Julio Rodriguez hasn't hit that bad. Now, he hasn't hit to what you would want out of Julio Rodriguez. But, I mean, what is his OPS plus this year?
You have a 113?
120 OPS plus. I got at least. Maybe it's changed today. I don't know. But 120 OPS plus. If that's your worst hitter in the qualified hitter, holy crap. And that's a team who we did not think was going to be jack crap at offense this year. And look at them now. They got the 10th best offense in baseball. The starting staff has not been healthy and has not been hitting at all in cylinders, but it doesn't matter. Their relievers, I mean, Andres Munoz, that's the best reliever in baseball.
I keep coming back to his stat page because I'm like, surely he doesn't still have a 0.0 ERA. Like, we're almost in June. There's no way a closer for a good team still has a 0.0 ERA. And every time, still says 0.
Is it still 0?
It's still 0. I had to double
Andres
check.
Munoz. I watched him come in an extra innings game, load the bases with no one out, then strike out 3 in a row. So that's how you keep your ERA under 0, which is physically impossible. But he has done it somehow. Yeah, so since May, they've been 12-11, Mitch, and that's right above the mid-doza line, and that's all you need to fucking
Just
do.
a tick.
If you're 12-11 all year, you probably make the playoffs. Just keep above that mid-doza line, and that's the secret of baseball. The only player who's way above the mid-doza line is Big Dumper, dude. Big Dumper had 2 home runs last night, second in MLB in home runs. The Big Dumper has more home runs than Aaron Judge. Watch out, Aaron Judge, with your small ass. You cannot compete with an ass as big as that. The Big Dumper has taken over baseball. We need to get some measurements on Ohtani because that seems impossible. There's no way Ohtani has a bigger ass than the Big Dumper. How do you have more home runs than him? Right now, he does. 20 home runs for Harper. 20 home runs for Ohtani. 19 home runs for the Big Dump. Woo! 2 points behind Judge and 4 points ahead of Devers and Ohtani. What is that? Did I write that?
I think I wrote that. That would be his WRC plus.
So he's behind Judge in WRC plus, but just by 2 runs. Big dumper. I mean, I was going to call him underrated, but we talk about him every freaking episode.
Oh, that would be for the month of May too.
Okay. So month of May. Hey, big dump. But do they got to worry about Houston? Because Houston, who, I mean, we can safely say, kind of mid.
I mean, they are 5 games above 500.
I'll take it back then. They are not kind of mid. They were mid all season. And especially the Astros standards. You also got to grade them on a curve because this is a team that went to what? They went to the World Series or the ALCS 7 years in a row, 6 out of the 7 years. Something crazy until last year. So when the Astros play 500 ball, it sticks out to you. And when they trade their best hitter, arguably Kyle Tucker, and he goes off in Chicago, you might be questioning, oh, are the Astros done? When Jose Altuve is sitting here on May 28th with a -2 WAR with a 109 OPS plus, you might be thinking, ooh, that could be tough. You know, teams getting older. When Yordan Alvarez, your best hitter, one of the best hitters in the league going into the season, on May 28th has 3 home runs, Yordan Alvarez, and a -3 WAR, you might be thinking as an Astro fan, oh shit, we are motherfucked. But you're not. The Astros have won 4 in a row now. Yordan is hurt. What is the injury with Yordan?
He had a wrist injury, I believe, and they were like, "Oh, it's going to be a short injury."
And he said, "Look at the wrist, the wrist." And then what happened?
And then he just hasn't come back yet.
He's flicked that wrist too hard. They said this will be a slight injury, and Yordan said, "Look at the wrist, flick that shit." That shit was fucking a hard ass flick. But now he's hurt even more. Why they're so good this year, though, Mitchell? It's pretty simple.
Isaac Paredes.
I wasn't going to say that, but that is a good point. Isaac Paredes, who, I mean, I kind of gave him shit already bringing up Tucker. You trade your best player for fucking a slapdick prospect in Isaac Paredes, and Kyle Tucker's light the league on fire. What has Isaac Paredes done this year?
Paredes is only 0.3 WAR behind Tucker on the season. He has a 147 WRC plus, which is only 7 points below Kyle Tucker. So they basically just swapped out Kyle Tucker for an almost as good hitter and got prospects as well. And the funny thing about Paredes is that this month he has more homers on the road than he does at home.
Love to see that. I mean, that's just bonus money for the Astros. The Astros got this guy thinking, we're just going to get a guy for half the season. We're just going to get the best hitter in baseball, but only half the season. We can only play half our games to the road. You have a month-long stretch where he's going off on the road. So what is he? He has 7 home runs in May, 4 on the road. That's more home runs on the road than at home, Mitch.
And you know where these home runs were?
Yeah, I do actually. They were in fucking Tampa Bay. Revenge game on Jack's Rays. How do you got to say about that? Isaac coming home to rub his cock in your face. That's got to hurt, right?
No, it was okay.
You liked his mind. You just tip your cap, you know? You respect. That's the thing about the Tampa Bay Rays. They say they don't have no class. They say they don't have any fans. You're not going to get booed. The most respectful franchise ever, the Tampa Bay Rays. You will not get booed unless the Yankees come to town and you are Evan Longoria. Then you might get booed in your own stadium. But what do you think? What do you do, Mitch?
I'm like, man, has there ever been a case where Rays fans are booing people?
There's really not many Rays fans to boo. No offense to Rays fans. It's not your fault. You have sunny weather in California and Florida, California, and you have beaches, and you have 2 teams nearby, and the stadium's out of the way, I guess. And cheap ownership. But Isaac Paredes, tip your cap. What is the dimensions at their spring training park? Is left field close as fuck or no?
Yeah, so it's basically like Yankee Stadium. You're gonna have the dimensions are not exactly the same at Steinbrenner Field as Yankee Stadium, I've read, but they're like very close. And so you're gonna have those short fences.
So it makes perfect sense. So the 4 home runs he hit on the road were all of them in Tampa Bay?
One of them was in Texas. The funny thing about the Tampa homers, though, they were all crushed. Like, usually his homers, you go and you look in Savant, and they're like, this home run was only in this ballpark. If you put those dimensions in any other park, it would have been a flyout. in Tampa, it was truly a revenge game. They were all 30 out of 30.
Do not trade Isaac Paredes. Whatever you do, he will come back and haunt your freaking family. When are they playing the Cubs? Have they played the Cubs yet? Because I got to put a freaking wager on that. He's going to dick the Cubs, especially if it's in Houston.
They play each other in a month,
All right.
June 27th.
Mark your calendar. Isaac Paredes, where is it at? Is it in Wrigley?
Sadly, it's not. It's in Houston.
That's what
but
I want.
I mean, he's still going to.
No, that's better, dude. Get him in the air conditioning. Have those fans blow out to left. Isaac at the plate. Bing bong. But the reason why Isaac came up is I was asking Mitch, why are the Astros doing so well right now? It's pretty obvious, and maybe it wasn't so obvious because Isaac is definitely a great answer at that. Oh, Jeremy Pena leading the team in WAR. Love to see Jeremy Pena leading the team in WAR. He's hitting well. 130 OPS plus. Pena's back after a tough sophomore season for Mr. Pena. But it's really their pitching staff that's been really, really good. Framber Valdez. Very good season so far. Giving him length. 1 complete game already, 11 starts, 3.39 ERA. Hunter Brown, formerly the best pitcher in baseball, right after Hunter Green. It was Hunter Green, then Hunter Brown. He's not the best, I'd put it right now, but 2.00 ERA. Cy Young candidate right there for Hunter Brown. Mr. Blanco. Now, this one's tough. Ronel Blanco, who has an amazing story. He kicked around in the minors forever. Last spring training, wasn't going to make the team. Had one more start in spring training to show he should be on the team. It was the day his daughter was getting born. He went to the hospital, popped out a daughter out of his wife. Never mind. They had a kid together. It was beautiful. Rushed back to the stadium. Made his last spring training start, made the team. Best day ever, became a dad for the second time, then made the team, then made his first start of the season last year. No one expected a 30-year-old rookie to be shit, doing no-hitter his first time out. And he got off to an okay start this year, 4.10 ERA through 9 starts, but now he is hurt. He's out for the season for Mr. Blanco.
But it seems like for the Astros, you have one pitcher get injured and another pitcher comes back. McCullers actually had a really good start today.
I know. I faded him on the sports book, and they made me pay.
Ooh.
Yeah, happens.
So he hadn't gone more than 4 innings in any of his starts. I think he's made 4 starts this year. Today he showed up and he went, I'm going to turn back the clock. He struck out 12 batters, his longest start since 2022. And yeah, I don't know. Is he back? He looked dominant. It was against the A's, but the A's have a decent offense.
Yeah, I mean, I will not say that Lance McCullers Jr. is back based on this start. I mean, the guy missed 3 seasons, basically. 2020, no, literally missed 3 entire seasons. So my rule is, you know me, I'll tell you, you have one good start against the Rockies. You saw what I said about fucking Patrick Corbin. I'll say you're back after a freaking good game. But if you miss 3 straight years, it's going to take 2 games for me to say you're back. So watch out for Lance McCullers' next start. I could declare him all the way back. Could declare him the best pitcher in baseball, but you have to have a really good start. And I doubt that's going to happen. But yeah, also, it's really I kind of misspoke. It's not really their starters that have been amazing. It's been their relievers. It's been Hader, baby. The Hader raid. I said it coming into the season. If the Astros want to be good, they're going to be relying on the relievers about as much as any other team, which is rare you say a team like it's going to come down to the bullpen. But I really felt that it was just because they invested so much at Hader. They got Brian Abreu, who's been there for a while. I mean, I made that statement basically just off Hader because Hader has kind of been hot and cold like any reliever, but like he's had some terrible seasons, but also has been the best closer in baseball by far.
They have 4 relievers with at least 20 innings and an ERA under 1.9. So their 6th inning guy
do. Yep, that'll do.
Is better than your closer. Any of your team's closer, except the Mariners. But like, yeah, you just need your starting pitcher to go 5 innings, and then you're calling in the squad.
Hell yeah, and don't forget about Jose Altuve. Altuve's on a tear right now. I know I kind of besmirched. I besmirched the Smurf in Altuve by saying he had a tough season so far. And yeah, he's got a -2 WAR. But look over what he's done over the past week or so, Mitch.
Looks very good. His Baseball Savant page is bizarre. It's like as blue as you get. If you were just to take that screenshot and put it into the wild, it looks like the worst hitter in baseball.
Yeah, that concerns you. He hasn't hit well over his past 8 games, however. He has a 1,200 OPS plus with 4 home runs. So that gives you hope. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer, Mitchell. He ain't that old. How old is Altuve right now?
35.
35, and he's still playing left field, doing what he can, right?
Still playing left field.
Playing a good left field.
I saw the other day, I was going through his fielding page. If you're on Baseball Savant and you just really want to get into the weeds, you can see how much of a probability they had to catch a ball. And I saw one dot, it was gray. It's like 65% catch probability. Hit it. Doesn't even come close to catching the ball. I went, man, that's tough. Like, at least you want to be able to make an effort. Turns out he was just trying to hose the guy. He threw out the runner at home.
Good play.
He was just like, I got to show out my cannon.
You can't trust the metrics.
You can't.
You got to do the eye test. You look at Altuve and you say, he's good at baseball. You know? When you see a 5'4"
That's
guy
exactly my first thought.
with socks above his knees, you're like, that guy's got to be good at baseball. And I love it, too. They put him out left field in front of the highest left field wall in Major League Baseball. And they have the shortest left fielder in the league. That's a funny joke. Don't kill me in the comments. I know the Green Monster's taller. Come on. Give me a break. Second tallest wall in MLB. Shortest left fielder in MLB. Jose Altuve. Got anything else to say about Jose Altuve? You want to say some bullshit? What do you think about the Astros? You think they can challenge the Mariners?
I feel like there are baseball teams that I just never form an opinion on because I'm like, oh, they'll just figure it out. And the Astros are one of those teams where I'm like, you know, if the Astros are struggling, they have some sort of devil magic and it's going to work itself out. You still
feel that way now with how the roster's constructed? I mean, I felt that way about the Astros the past, 10 years. But I feel like this year is a little different.
Yeah, I mean...
They've lost some star power.
I thought 2020, I was like, oh, this is the year they start to fall apart. They're about to lose Springer. They're going to lose Correa the next season. This is it. And then they kept winning. Yeah. So, like, I've given up on trying to go all in on...
They've lost a lot of good pieces since then. They are not the same team as the World Series teams, but they are a very well-run franchise. And I know that's controversial to say, saying that the Astros are a well-run franchise. You said that a couple years ago, they'd call you Hitler. But listen, all those guys have been fired. So now Astros are a good ran franchise. They're not cheating, to my knowledge, and doing really good. Now you look at the other side of the spectrum, that's the Rangers. Not saying that the Rangers are a bad franchise, but they do have star power, and their roster got better this year, and they've gone the opposite direction. Their offense is, excuse my French, not great. 27th in the league in runs. And why is that, Mitchell? How does that...
I thought it was their offensive coordinator's fault. But it turns out that when you fire your offensive coordinator, you don't actually get better at offense. They are still terrible this month. They have one of the worst qualified hitters in baseball. He still owed $72 million after this year.
Marcus Semien?
Marcus Semien.
I hate to hear that.
Has a 40-something WRC plus.
And he's been one of the best hitters in baseball. If you put those things from 2019, I think it is, he's fourth.
He's a top 10 player. He's a war merchant.
Yeah, quietly. A what merchant?
A war merchant. He's a position player who plays a ton of games at a decent defensive position, and he hits above average. Adolis Garcia, he used to hit bombs. Now he's probably just going to win a Gold Glove and be a terrible hitter. Jock Peterson sort of figured it out.
What did you call Adolis? Adolis?
Adolis? Yeah, Adolis. Adolis.
Oh, you're giving me shit for mispronouncing. You just put my brain in a fucking blender.
That's how I feel right now, actually.
Adolis. Guys, it's hot in here. Give me a break. That surprises the fuck out of me, not to cut you off. We'll get back to what we were saying. Adolis Garcia being good at defense. What the fuck? The guy's built like a fucking Lego man.
It's like when you are make a player on MLB The Show and you just jack him up and then you make him super fast. I don't think Garcia is super fast, but he's getting the balls.
What are those guys in in Spy Kids, the thumbs.
They're called the thumbs.
The thumbs, yeah. That's what Adolis Garcia is built like. He's built like one of these thumb guys. And listen, if you put one of these thumb guys at the plate, I'd say, yeah, he's got some power. That guy can fucking hit for power. Hell yeah, put him at the DH. But I wouldn't pick a thumb guy to be my starting right fielder. And that's what the Texas Rangers did. They put thumb guy in the right field, and he's been one of the best defensive outfielders in the league. What are his defensive stats, Mitch?
Hold on, Mitch is busy making absolute gold right now.
I've got to put this together. Hold on. Garcia, I think, is top like 5 in outs above average in the outfield. But ever since you said the thumb thing, I think I found the thumb.
Yeah, Google Spy Kids thumb guy, and then Google Adolis Garcia if you're at home and you're not on YouTube. And tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, so here are the thumbs. And then I got to switch over.
So Mitchell, Adolis Garcia had a negative 16.6 defensive WAR last year. So how is he one of the best defenders in baseball this year?
I think I read that he had an injury that he was playing through that was affecting his defense.
Is crazy.
So whatever injury he had is healed enough that he's still a really good defender, but not healed enough for him to hit it again.
So last year, this guy was one of the worst defenders in baseball. This year, he's got 8 defensive runs saved. It was that the metric he used? So last year he had negative 5 defensive run saves. This year he has 8 already.
He must be getting great jumps. He's not a fast guy.
I would love just to do like a compare. I wish I had these stats beforehand just to compare the before and after of this year and last year. Maybe stick around for a TikTok, maybe next episode, guys. If you aren't following us on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and do it. Baseball doesn't exist. Our podcast doesn't exist on Instagram. Baseball doesn't exist on TikTok and Twitter. Podcast doesn't exist. We put all our shorts on those. But yeah, and then DeGrom had a start. We had 0 strikeouts, which is crazy. DeGrom is one of the most interesting pitchers. This guy's velocity is down a shit ton since his second Tommy John, 3.3 miles per hour on average, but he still had a great season. I mean, last night or yesterday, he had 0 strikeouts in his start, and that's the first time in his career that's happened, which doesn't surprise me. It's DeGrom. But he actually didn't have a terrible start. So it's like he's losing his stuff, losing his velocity, but to me, he's kind of like really impressing me how he's able to pitch without it. Like every pitcher has to do that eventually.
I mean, we're talking about him losing 2 or 3 miles an hour off of his velocity is like a catastrophic thing. But his fastball average this year is 97.3. And Spencer Strider, who we were talking about earlier, hasn't hit 97.3 all season. So DeGrom really had a lot of velocity to lose and still have the potential to be a really good pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. 97.3, that's very fast. But then you see a guy like Roki lose that much velocity and can't find the strike zone and can't do anything right. Like, I think a lot of times it's also a mental thing. If you were throwing 100, now you're throwing 93, how much do you trust it? And then how good are your secondary pitches to still be able to throw 3 miles per hour slower?
DeGrom has the 4th fastest fastball of qualified pitchers, and he's losing 2 miles an hour.
Damn, DeGrom. Yeah, his strikeouts are way down. I mean, he had a 13.35 his last, I guess that's not a full season. So his last full, I mean, the guy hasn't had a full season since 2019. But the last time we really saw him at full strength, he had a 14.27 strikeout per 9. That's elite. Don't have to tell you that. Now it's down to 8.81. So he's striking out 6 less batters per game. And still, I mean, that's what we should talk about, Mitchell. It's not really about his velocity. I mean, the velocity is probably why he's striking out less people, but he's striking out a fuck ton of no cursing. He's striking out less people, but he's still amazing. 2.42 ERA, 1.1 WAR. Still not close to the best pitcher on that staff, though. The Rangers staff has been amazing, which just why it hurts so much that they're not doing well.
I feel like their offense just needed to be half decent. Like, they could have had the Braves offense and they would be in first place.
right? And it's like they had, I mean, Adolis has been doing bad. Jock Peterson has been the worst hitter in the league, and now he's hurt, right?
Yeah, he just started figuring it out. He's basically just walking a ton, and then he fractured his wrist.
God, did he get hit?
I actually never saw the play.
Maybe he already had an injury. I mean, it makes sense if he was like battling an injury. Like the start that he had was for anyone was bad. For Jock Peterson, it was extremely bad. He's still rocking just 2 home runs this year. Now he's going to miss some time with a fractured hand. But I mean, no one's hitting well in this lineup other than Seager, and he's been hurt. He's coming back right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he was scheduled to come back today.
So you got Josh Young, and you got Wyatt Langford doing pretty good. But other than that, the offense needs to pick it up. Once they do, they'll be good. But I mean, I would still say this division as a whole is pretty much a toss-up. You know, I mean, the Mariners, only team that's played above the Mendoza line the entire year. So you got to give it to them so far. But I mean, do you really expect that offense to continue how they're doing? No. Granted, if they don't continue like they're doing, can they make up with that because they've underachieved on the pitching side? 100%. That pitching staff could be way better than it is right now, and it could get better. But you could say pretty much the same exact thing about the Rangers. Just wait until they start hitting normal. Then it's lights out for all you guys. I mean, the Rangers pitching with Eovaldi, but Eovaldi just got hurt. God.
Yeah, he should be fine, but you never like when a pitcher leaves a game with an injury.
No. And they don't want to lose Eovaldi. Eovaldi's been amazing. 1.56 ERA. DeGrom's been amazing. 2.24 ERA. 2.42 ERA. Tyler Mahle, 1.8 ERA. Patrick Corbin, don't forget about Pat, 3.75 ERA. And the Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker down there, they're getting some starts, not doing as good, but they're kicking around. So we'll have to wait and see, my friend. Bad news. If you're a Colorado Rockies fan, you have now lost 21 consecutive series. You have been asked to leave Major League Baseball. I feel like if you lose 21 series in a row, it's time to go.
I think that was the first time I was like, we needed to hit the womp womp button.
Yeah, you hear that, Jack? That was the first time and you missed it. Every time you used it before that, we did not need it, and you used it against Mitchell's wishes, and the truth is out. He's turned on you, Jack.
I'll do it myself.
21 consecutive series losses for the Colorado Rockies. You want to guess what that ranks in the streaks?
Is it the worst streak of all time?
We wouldn't be bringing it up if it wasn't. It is the longest streak in MLB history. 21 series in a row. What the crap, man? They've got close. Opening day, they lost on a walk-off. And then they won game 2. That would have been it, but they lost on a walk-off. They won game 1 of a series against the Giants. May 1st, they thought, this is it. We just got to win one more. Lost the next 3. They won the first game of a 4-game series, lost the next 3. I guess if they won 2, it still wouldn't count. Oh, I guess. So if they split a series, that would end this. They haven't even split a series, Mitch. Holy crap, Ola. Won game 2 against the D-Bags on May 17th. Lost 1-0 the following game. Only needed to score 2 runs to break this streak. Couldn't do it. Had the bases loaded in the 9th. Couldn't do it. And they won game 1 against the Yankees on May 23rd. Who could forget? They beat the big, bad Yankees. Then they had a 2-1 lead in game 3. Lost 5-4. End of list. That's 21 consecutive series in a row. Let's forecast for the Rockies. When are they going to get this series win? What's the schedule looking like? Because right now they're sitting at 9-46, which isn't great. They just lost. So they already screwed it against the Cubs. They just got swept by the Cubs. So that's not a series win. And they're going to New York to play the Mets. Mets are a pretty good team, but right after that, they got Jack's Marlins. The Colorado Rockies are going to Miami for a series that starts on a Monday. So you want to talk about marquee baseball. Wait, what? The series starts on a Sunday?
No.
It starts on June 1st.
June 2nd.
Okay, Baseball Reference is wrong, my man. What the fuck? Okay, sorry. June 2nd. So the Rockies are going to Miami for a Monday to Wednesday series. Colorado Rockies versus Miami Marlins on Monday. How many people go to that game?
7,000.
7,000 people. It's pretty high, Mitch. Is the Wednesday game a day game? I please swear to I will take a flight to Miami to see this game.
We should go to that game and have Jack do the all-you-can-eat seats. Get some content out of it.
Jack
Jack goes to his first Marlins game.
I love how you said that. Like, will Jack pay? Like, we should go to get Jack to get the all-you-can-eat seats.
No, I mean, I'll obviously put it on the company card, bro.
We should get a company card just to go to this game.
You really need a company card at this point.
Why do I need a company card?
I mean, it seems like a good way to keep track of funds.
It seems like a good way for you guys to steal my money. So,
Yeah, me and Jack are going to go see all 30 stadiums.
It's happened before, dude. My editor, Aiden, he fucking took my card and went to Subway one time when I gave him to buy some shit. So I've been burnt before. Won't let that happen again.
That's why we need the business card.
I had to hit him.
Maintaining my strength and my stamina during the whole year.
Excuse me, sir. I went through my bank account. Sounds like you bought $11 foot long. Had to hit him with the Venmo request, buddy.
No, you didn't. Did you really?
No. I let him get his foot long. A piece of shit. He eats Subway anyway. I felt bad for him. Yeah, go to Subway. Loser. Yeah, so the Rockies play the Miami Marlins on a Wednesday afternoon at 12 p.m., dude. This is going to be one of those games where there's just going to be 40,000 kids at this park. It's going to be field trips. It's going to be all summer camps. It's going to be just chaos, just kids screaming their fucking ass off while the Rockies are trying to break a 21 series losing streak. And I think they might have a chance to do it on that Wednesday afternoon in Miami.
I don't think they're going to do it.
You don't think they can do it in Miami?
No,
On the road? Depends who's playing short. If it's Otto, I like it. But if it's Simon, I don't know. There's a lot of questions going in this series. Who's going to be at shortstop? Who's going to be at second? You know, how many kids are going to be there? Is it going to be a summer day? Are they doing a giveaway? Are there going to be 5 people in the stadium, or is it going to be 12 people in the stadium?
There is no giveaway at the stadium, so it's just 40,000 kids.
It's definitely going to be field trip day.
Did you see who was DHing for the Rockies today?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I mean,
Orlando Arcia.
big bat in the offense. The Rockies might win this series against, who are they playing? The Mets? Orlando Arcia, DH. He's going to hit like 3 bombs this week. Big offensive upgrade at
I
DH.
like to see that. I love Orlando Arcia, by the way. I didn't get the chance to say that, but it's been nice to have you on the Braves. Hopefully down the road, knowing the Braves, they're going to re-sign him like 5 times before it's all said and done. You know, Aaron Judge, if you go and bet MGM, you bet him to win MVP, he's minus 3,000, which means that he has a 97% chance to win MVP, according to the sports books. A 97% chance to win MVP. And it is May 28th. Aaron Judgy.
I feel like Judge could miss 2 months, come back, and still win MVP.
Fuck, I mean, what does the WAR say? Right now, according to Fangraphs WAR, this guy has a 4.7 WAR. So Cal Raleigh's the closest to him, and he's got a 3.2, and that's 1.5 WAR difference.
If Judge kept up this pace but only played 100 games, he'd have an 8.7 WAR.
That's good enough to win an MVP some years. But yeah, think about that. It's a 1.5 WAR difference between Judge and second place. So, like, I mean, he can miss the next month and still lead the league in WAR. Pretty easily. Yeah, that's scary. 97% chance to win the MVP. All right. We want to get some questions? Anything else you want to cover that you need to cover?
Do not resell tickets in Japan. You will go to jail for 1 year.
1 year, that's it?
Or
Worth it.
maximum fine of $7,000.
Yeah, so I guess what is the story? They had Japan series to start the season in Japan. That's why they call it the Japan series. You had Cubs versus the Dodgers, and the tickets. Do you have how much the tickets going for? They were like thousands of dollars.
He bought these tickets for like $3,000 or $1,500, and then he was reselling them for up to $55,000.
What? And how many did he get?
He profited $150K.
Baby, wasn't he like the vice president of a company?
I didn't even get that far. I was just like
Thanks.
What? And then I
Used
was
to be a researcher, now he's a podcast helper. Didn't even get that far.
I gotta change my job title. I did look up this anti-scalping law because I was a little confused. You can't resell tickets at all. There's not like you can only resell tickets for X amount above the original price. It's just no more reselling tickets.
Jesus Christ. I mean, you buy tickets for $1,500 and you sell them for $28,000. It's a pretty good profit margin. Yeah, they're trying to do that. Do you see Trump had like Kid Rock in the White House talking about how we're trying to get rid of ticket scalping? So we're going to do this as a country. What do you think? Should we do it? Should we make a bill? Should we get behind this, or do you like the scalpers? I guess game time would go away. Fuck.
You need that.
We need that. We do not need the ticket. Sorry, guys, everyone listening who buys tickets and would actually get tickets for a lot cheaper if this law went into effect. We would lose some brand deal money, and we can't have that. That's bad for the economy, so we're going to have to veto that law. If you want scalping, legalize it. I got to call Shibu Abe. Who's the prime minister of Japan now? I know Abe passed away recently.
Do you have a
Can you let Mitchell cook? What'd you say?
Just for Jack to fill the time, maybe. He has new material.
I mean, how the fuck? It's not hard. Who's the prime minister of Japan?
No, we'll do a little crowd work. Joy, what do you do for work?
What do you do for work? I asked someone down in the crowd. I said, "What do you do for work?" They asked me. She said, "What do you do for work?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Not this." I was like,
Damn,
bitch.
And you went, I'm a YouTuber.
I was like, I make more money than both your parents combined, you dumb slut.
People really love it when you talk about how much money you make.
The
You know I'm about to hit 1 million subscribers, right? You can never compare.
This man literally said, I don't give a shit about subscribers.
Listen, I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about the viewers. I would never talk shit to my team. I hate the
Shigeru
audience, not my team.
Ishiba is the prime minister of Japan.
Well, get him on the phone. We need to get scalping back. Think about if we dubbed our videos for Japanese and started getting...
I've been trying to get you to do that for 2 years now.
Why don't you do it then?
It's a pretty fucking good idea, but there's no way in hell we would be able to pull it off. We're not Japanese.
I thought you were Japanese, Jack.
Okay, there's a lot of evidence of me saying that I am Japanese. However, I am not.
You've said you're Japanese and you don't even know the prime minister. You can leave. All right, come back in. You're good. You're chilling. Nah, come back in. You're chilling. Okay, tell me this. Why the fuck we have a Q&A section, right? The viewers ask questions in the comments, and then Mitchell, the podcast helper, goes in the comments, and we'll screenshot them and put them in the thing so I can answer them. And the first fucking thing isn't a fucking question. It's just a guy roasting me. You can thank the troops any day, but today is about the ones that died. Veterans Day is for what you described. That's not a question.
It is something that I was thinking during the episode, though, is that I felt like you were getting the two confused because you were just talking about people who survived and then played baseball.
Well, there's not a lot of, people who died serving our country who played in MLB. There's only...
Certainly not after they died.
Yeah, it's very rare.
There was one player who died during World War II. No, multiple. Hold on.
Well, it's not Memorial Day, so you can't say it, according to this guy. According to this guy, you can't show respect to veterans on Memorial Day. And you can only respect the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice on Memorial Day, according to this logic. So, Mitchell, don't say their names.
He'll
get what he wants.
In May of 2026.
Yes, but shout out to everybody who passed away. But I can still talk about the ones who survived, too. That's just my right. But, yeah, thank you to all the troops. It's hard for me to say anything and sound genuine. It's fucked up. I feel like I'm just dicking on the troops. It's not supposed to come off as, anti-troops. I just was...
Oh, we love the troops.
Yeah, I know. I can't help it. What's the link to the Maestro's team store? That's literally the fucking coach of the Maestros who's leaving this comment.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's asking me what's the link to the. You're the one who fucking has the link to the team store, dude. I don't know what it is, but if you guys want The link. If you guys want any merch from my softball team, slow pitch softball team, we play every Sunday. There is a team store. If we get that link, we'll put them in the comments. Why'd you guys stop talking about Paul Skenes and Livy Dunn's outfits? That is a good question. And honestly, I have not seen their outfits recently. We did talk about Livy Dunn and Paul Skenes today. I'm getting a little anxious. There hasn't been a proposal.
Well, now that Joey has their address, I'm sure he'll take a look at their outfits.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get that response from Livy. But I will ask her what she's wearing if she does respond. So.
I'm sure Skenes is going to be chill about that.
Well, did you see 50 Cent, dude, post a photo with Livy Dunn? Like, I felt like that was like a little bit of a shot at Skenes, dude. He had his arm around her and everything. I saw this and was like, that's disrespectful to Paul.
50 loves to stir the pot, that's for sure.
Right? Come on, 50. You think you're a tough guy? Paul Skenes is way more gangster than 50 Cent. Paul Skenes was in the military. He knows how to fly airplanes. I know 50 got shot 6 times. And he has a past on the streets.
Well, we got one outfit up.
Let me see what we got.
It's a lot of like kind of like lace. I mean, it's a completely transparent outfit. 50, however,
Looks like he's wearing a Raiders jersey with a Yankees hat.
Whoa.
well, he's always wearing a Yankees hat. He's New York till he dies
Except when it comes to
tries.
football.
Yankees don't play football, Mitchell. That's the problem.
Jack said New York till he dies. Except when it comes to football.
Right? Good point. But what's Paul Skenes wearing? Paul Skenes seems like the guy, he just wears like the team workout gear most of the time. You know? I can see him wearing like a nice collared shirt, Under Armour.
I feel like he's wearing Gucci polos.
No, Paul Skenes? No, bro. He's way too much of a freaking ROTC kid to wear Gucci. Paul Skenes is rocking the team gear and he's rocking, Old Navy. Just simple, effective. Doesn't have to say too much with his clothes. He says it with his actions. He's a tall guy. He's a strong guy. He's a great pitcher. And he's going to the Los Angeles Dodgers. End scene. That's the end of the podcast.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize what end scene meant.
Jack's gonna just let this run for another minute while you sit there awkwardly trying to get this thing over with.
Okay, I love you. I love everybody. It was a weird ending. I felt like we didn't have closure.